Okay, so we actually got an announcement on the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford undercard. It There was rumored undercard last week. It's been almost true. The battle of the big babies obviously ain't happening. Obviously, we don't know what's going on with Jared Anderson. Truth be told, but we do know what's going on with Jarrell Big Farmer Miller. He will not be on the undercard, but he will be part of Canelo Alvarez's fight week. Canelo Crawford fight week. He'll be fighting on September the 11th on a Thursday. And as it stands right now, it will be against Michael Hunter. Now, interestingly enough, on BoxRec, it's not actually listed, right? That could be a bit of a worry, right? Now, the reason why I say it's a bit of a worry is because although it was announced that this fight would be taking place, Michael Hunter, do you know what? Instead of just, and I will get to it, don't get me wrong, I will get to it. Let me just explain how badly managed Michael Hunter has done his career over the last couple of years, right? Let's just talk about this very briefly, right? So Michael Hunter was a member of the US Olympic squad in 2012. He was a heavyweight. He was only a heavyweight, I think. Don't quote me on that. Maybe super heavy. I'm not 100% sure, right? And he turned pro. He kind of went a little bit under the radar, to be honest with you. He did. I knew of him going into the Alexander Usyk fight, but I can't say I knew a great deal about him. Did very well in the Usyk fight. Although Usyk was the deserved winner, he definitely won his fair share of rounds in there. So you looked at Michael Hunter and you thought, okay, interesting. We might have a bit of a dark horse in the cruiserweight division here. Took a bit of a break after the Usyk fight, came back at heavyweight, beat Terrell Jamel Woods, who is a well-known journeyman on the US scene. Beat him on over 6 rounds. Fought Kaladze, was 218. So he's moved up to heavyweight officially now, right? This is 2018. Comes into the York Hall in Bethnal Green to fight Martin Bacoli, 256 pounds. Crazy. Never thought Martin Bacoli could get down that low. Yikes. That's crazy considering fast forward, 6-7 years later. Yeah. But he really beat up Martin Bacoli in that fight. The interesting thing is, though, even at about 213 pounds, which is what Michael Hunter was in there, you could see the speed, the athleticism, the talent. He looked really good. Still did look a little bit fleshy. So you really did get the impression that this guy was really a cruiserweight, masquerading as a heavyweight. Nevertheless, he decided to persist at heavyweight. Took a fight down on reasonably short notice, but it was against Alexander Ustinov, who was well past it, and even in his prime, he wasn't that good, in Monte Carlo. That was on an Eddie Hearn show. He was putting them on in Monte Carlo. Did a good job in that fight, stopped Alexander Ustinov. Fought Fabio Maldonado, Sergey Kuzmin. He's working with Eddie Hearn now at this point. Gets his big break in Saudi Arabia on the undercard of AJ versus Andy Ruiz 2 against Alexander Povetkin. Yes, a bit unlucky not to get the nod in that fight. I think that is fair to say, right? And at that point, you're thinking, right, this is looking really good. We're looking like we have a good contender on here. Crucially, he's saying all the right things. Michael Hunter is. He's saying that, he wants all these heavyweights. He wants to smoke with all these heavyweights. I think he even said words to the effect of he'll fight someone like a Filip Hrgovic for free. So at this point, you're thinking, oh, wow, this guy, he really does want all that smoke. He's not playing around. And the thing is, you looked at Michael Hunter and you thought, he's got a bit of power there. He's not a devastating puncher, but, respectable power. Good athleticism, good speed, good coordination. Really, really good looking fighter, Kind of like Alexander Usyk. You thought, all right, well, I didn't think Usyk would be what he turned out to be, a heavyweight. I thought he'd do well, not this well. And Michael Hunter, you're kind of thinking similar. You're thinking, all right, he might not go and be undisputed, but he can do a lot of good at heavyweight. And people won't see him coming, so, he can really cause an upset. Arguably should have had the win over Povetkin that night in Saudi Arabia. Then, well, he's given the opportunity to fight Filip Hrgovic, to go to a purse bid, and he doesn't want it. He leaves Eddie Hearn, signs with Triller, who were doing, I think they did Jake Paul Ben Askren, right? So, that was Triller. They were doing crazy fights and paying good money, but it was not sustainable in the slightest. And I think he had maybe 2 fights with Triller, maybe. He had the Mike Wilson fight, I think that was on Triller. And then he had the Jerry Forrest fight, which he was lucky that was a draw, because a lot of people felt like he lost that fight, and it showed the regression because he beat Jerry Forrest soundly earlier on in his career, and then he just seems to go on this tour of Mexico, He's fighting obscure guys in Mexico, not looking particularly good. Gets a win over Cassius Chaney. He hasn't fought since December last year. And more worryingly, he's been doing this really weird kind of tag team style boxing, which is bizarre. Really, really bizarre against, obscure no-hopers. A friend of mine yesterday in the video I did, he sent me a clip of a Michael Hunter IBA fight, which is kind of, I don't even know what that is. Like, it's not amateur, it's pro, but I don't think it's classed. And he fought a guy called Artem Sulikovov, I think is how you say it. I watched that fight yesterday, actually, and oh my God, he looked shockingly bad in it. And he looked even heavier than usual. So, Michael Hunter's career has just been absolutely catastrophically managed from his perspective over the last 4 years. I mean, it really has. It's been an absolute joke. There's no ifs or buts, there's no two ways about it. It's been an absolute joke of a career how he's managed it. He split from Hasim Rahman. He's no longer with Eddie Hearn. He did sign to fight Hughie Have No Fury, but obviously that wasn't his fault, I don't think. Then signed with Boxer. Ultimately wasn't part of Boxer then moving forward. And then, just to rub salt in the wounds, to show you how badly managed and ill-advised Michael Hunter's decisions have been, he signs a promotional deal with the infamous, the awful, truly awful Don King. A man whose history is well known. A tree is known by his fruits. Why in God's name are you signing with him? And straight away, Don King is seeking to block this fight with Jarrell Miller. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what's going on here. Now, I don't know. Michael Hunter is seemingly being defiant that it's going to go ahead. It's not on BoxRec, but that's not a gospel, to be honest with you. It's just bizarre. It really is how badly managed, oh good Lord, how badly managed someone's career has been. Whether it's all down to him, it has to be. Because when he had Hasim Rahman there, he seemed on it to an extent anyway. This has just been, honestly, this has been crazy. It really has. I've never seen anything like it. And I think what's frustrating for me is you're looking at a fighter who, again, I'm not going to say he was going to become undisputed heavyweight champion. He wasn't going to do what Alexander Usyk did in terms of, beat the main guys, be undisputed twice, be recognized as one of the all-time greats of the sport. No. But I think he could have won a world title. Could he have picked up a version? Could you look at him and say, him against Parker, that's a dangerous fight, prime for prime? Yeah, you're not saying it now. And I look at someone like Jarrell Miller and I think, okay, prime Michael Hunter, the Hunter who fought Povetkin, the Hunter who fought Sergei Kuzmin, I don't think Jarrell Miller beats him, quite frankly. The Hunter who I'm seeing in some of these more recent fights, Cassius Chaney and that fight he had, and I think it was in Uzbekistan, which is not officially a pro fight, man looked shot to bits. He looked old. Man, this guy is younger than Alexander Usyk. And that fight was a year ago. He was 35 in that fight. He looked so old in there. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it with this guy. I mean, I can't even fathom how badly managed this guy's career has been. It really has. And now he's got a chance against Jarrell Miller. And again, I'm not really going to go out on a limb and say I think he'll beat Miller. I don't think he will. But we don't even know if this fight's going to happen now because he's with the infamous Don King. And whatever money he makes, God only knows how much of that is being taken by Don King. Because, Don King does those, sign-up fees. You sign with me, here's a couple of $100,000. Oh yeah, I expect that money back tenfold. That's why so many people who sign with Don King end up broke. It's crazy. So Michael Hunter, honest to God, one of the worst managed, one of the worst advised fighters I have ever seen. It's crazy. And again, I go back to it being so frustrating given the fact that I look at that run from Bakoli to Usyk, even the Usyk fight, you're like, this guy's got talent. What the hell? What happened? Unreal. Honestly, unbelievable. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below on this one. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. As always, if you could, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Do you think we'll get this fight in the end? Do you think Don King will have his way? Or do you think Michael Hunter will be able to pull something out of the bag and get this fight? And if he does, he's got a chance of winning. Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Until next time, peace and love.